Yes. Are we in? Are we on? Are we over? I presume we are. Yes. Biddly 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 bo. Yes, yes, yeah. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. I'm gonna show you. So unfortunately I forgot my dude's names, but when I went to the VIP booth, as it were, well, as it is, in at Ellen Road a few weeks ago when I met Bob Wendy. I forgot his name unfortunately, but he was lovely and he was with his wife, and he's from Minnesota, and he gave me these. So I just thought I would show, because obviously that's the Leeds badge, the smiley face thing. I can't do it because I'm looking at it backwards, with Minnesota on it. So quite cool. So I've got a sticker and a badge, but with stickers, I never want to stick them. Stick them, sock them, squeeze them. I never want to stick them because one, it's too like you've made your decision and then you're stuck quite literally with it in that position. Once you've made your decision, you're stuck with it within that position, and I don't like doing that. And two, I'm not really much of a sticker man. But the badge will find its way somewhere, but you're not really going to be able to see it. But we're still developing the wall. But that's not why we're here. Ain't nobody down round here. Nobody do it how we does it. You know what time it is. Allow me to reintroduce him. Get that badger. In and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. I had to move back to get his greatness in. He's with me now. You need not worry about my dude. Oh, Ming, straight in. Let's get Badgemus Maximus. How are we, Ming? Good to see you. Thank you very much. Member for 1 month. I love quick ship vids. Much appreciated, brother. I've got a fair bit to talk about. It's good to be back. Obviously, I've not been dropping in with quick ship vids in general due to, well, there's not really a great deal to talk about, and I've had quite a bit going on this past sort of month or so. So I've been, I've not been quite at it. But there'll be plenty of videos. Obviously, I'm going to go live on Sunday, Swansea, which we will touch upon in today's live session. We'll touch upon a bit of Swansea, do the Parisley, Joseph chat. Large is coming back from injury. We'll have a little look at that. Who ends up being the wingers? We'll write that down actually to remember who ends up being the winger. Wingers, should I say? Discuss some next fixtures. We're going to discuss who we can trust in the Premier League this week. David Prutton's done his team of the season so far. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss Christmas jumpers. I cannot wait to talk about Christmas jumpers. And Glenn Kamara's made a comment on departing Leeds United, so we'll discuss that. Andy Rowe, are you looking forward to driving in the snow? That all rhymes. Andy Rowe, are you looking forward to driving in the snow? I love the snow. I ain't no Grinch round here. I used to get called Grinch at school because I look a bit. I do confess I do look a little bit like him, but I ain't the Grinch. But yeah, crack a beer. San Miguel, I've just had an Indian, which was like the hottest thing. I don't know what I bought. I'll look it up if I can be bothered a bit later on, but it was so hot, and even so it tainted the taste of the lager, which, you know, is devastating. Yes, Neil Davison, straight in with it. Love it. Have you been soiled lately, Jack, mate? Yeah, I've had a soiled week, mate. Not too much been going on, just because obviously we're international break, it's pants in it. I don't bother watching England or all, so I've just kept it really soiled all week, just working hard, working soiled. Anybody that's new to the soiled in the chat, I'm not going to explain it. It's going to be one of those long-term jokes where hopefully in a few months somebody's going to be like, what is this soiled thing all about, like people do to me, and I'm like, well, if you're not there for the joke in the first place, you don't end up with the joke, you don't get the joke. Ming says, not been on it much this week. What's the story with Rama? Well, Largy Ramazani, he posted on his Instagram Just a picture of his feet in boots, basically. Not much to really write home about, but he's obviously getting back towards training or what have you, so that is good. Hopefully looking soiled in training. It'd be good to have him back, won't it? We're going to do the Peru Joseph talk for initially. Second, we'll talk about Swansea just quickly. Peacock Whites of LUFC, we've had a soiled week. It's been soiled. Andy Rowe, you never go far wrong with the chicken tikka masala. Yeah, it wasn't a chicken tikka. I got it because it had spinach in it, and I like spinach. And normally, like a sag's all right in it. There's not much zing to it, not much spice to it. But this was like, because it had like peppers and shit in it like that. And I thought, you don't normally get peppers in an Indian, do you? Like green and red peppers. I thought, obviously, I know you get chilies in it, but not, the peppers. But they were peppers. So I thought, it might just be a bit, But no, it were hot, to say they were released. Yes, Joe Depp, what's good? Captain Jack at your service, me hearties. Hit that like and subscribe. Yes, yeah, hit the like. Let's get the algorithm going. Let's get their algorithm juicing for us. So, boys, Swansea on Sunday. I'm looking forward to being back at it. It's so when we're back into football, that because it's boring without it. There's not a great deal to talk about. I'd normally sort of fill up my channel with a load of woof in between, but I just thought I'd just go pretty easy on it this week. You do get a lot of peppers in a Rogan Josh, to be fair, man. I should have just gone with Rogan Josh. I love a Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh. Yeah, Swansea, they're obviously 11th. We're 3rd. We can go top if results go our way. Obviously, Sheffield and Sunderland are above us. 3 o'clock kick-off on a Sunday as well, which is pretty decent. It'll be on Sky, won't it? Well, it's like every team we play against. I don't want to just keep saying the same things, but it's like form. People dip in and out of form, don't they? It's an extremely inconsistent league in terms of, even if you're playing against somebody that's on the worst run ever, 5 games beaten in 5 games, they can still sort of pull something out of the bag. The last 5 games they've drawn, lost, won, and lost, which is going to be, like a theme going throughout, So won 2 of the last 5, lost 2 of the last 5, drawn 1 out of the last 5. That's literally going to be, that sounds obvious, but out of 5 games, winning 2, losing 2, and drawing 1 is about as even as it'll get in terms of form. So, that is like 10th, 11th in league form, and they're going to be decent. Obviously, we beat them 4-0, didn't we, away from home last year? I think we beat them. I think it was 4-0 last year. Don't quote me on that, but that's it, because my memory is normally absolutely shocking with it. But I just remember battering them, unless we got battered. But if anybody can confirm that, would be appreciated. But I'm pretty sure we beat them away from home last year. How come, Peacock? What's up? Like every game that we're going to, expect to win, don't you? It'd be interesting to see what the starting lineup. Obviously, Firpo's out, isn't he? So my stat man on Twitter seems to think he's injured, but if you know all about the club, you recognise and realise that he's not injured. He's been banned for dropping nut on whoever it was. I don't even know who it was, to be fair. I've still not seen the incident, to be fair. Can you hear me all right, Joe? Oh, sorry to hear that. Peacock's Whites of LUFC. It's terrible. I hope it goes as well as it obviously possibly can. Yeah, not the... I don't know what else to say, brother, other than just obviously... Good luck tomorrow, lad. It's terrible. Was Swansea game rearranged for this Sunday, or was it always in diary for Sunday? I don't know, Andy, because I only look like a month in advance, and then I put them all in calendar and try work it out. I know they can get rearranged like pretty close to the game, can't they? Because it does a lot of fans over, particularly with travelling down. It's like Blackburn's at 1:30, isn't it? That can't have been organised at 1:30 from start of the season. It might have been. I might not have a clue, but they're not all. They do change, don't they? Because they're not going to start picking if and when they alter for TV, don't they? So it is what it is. Yeah, Peacock getting some love, man. Send the love in, boys. Send the love in. Glenn Kamara's come out and made a couple of comments about him leaving Leeds United. Cause obviously, it was weird for him, really, because obviously we're only there for a year. And he was decent for us, wasn't he, to be fair to him. I do think Rothwell is looking like an improvement on Kamara. I actually said that at the start of the season, and then if I'm honest, I backed out of that a little bit because I went on Just Joe's podcast and he was not a fan particularly of Rothwell, and I do like Joe and respect his opinion, so I was a bit like, maybe he's not as soiled as I thought he was, but you know, he seems good on ball and stuff. He can whip a ball in, can't he, Rothwell? Kamara will good on ball and he was tricky, like quite intricate on the edge of box and stuff, but you're never gonna like. I mean, Rothwell hasn't posed himself as a goal threat yet, but I do think he's got the ability to chip in with goals. He also carries the ball a lot more than Kamara. Kamara just sort of moved the ball on and like I say, was quite tidy on the ball in and around the edge of box, but Rothwell will actually pick it up and carry it, which we're desperate for. But Kamara said, I'll just read the quote of what he said. He said, "It was bittersweet leaving Leeds. We were very close to going up. We probably should have gone up automatically. It was a tough one to take, losing in the playoff final. I was only there for a year, so moving so soon was a bit of a weird one. But things just happen quickly in football and you have to be ready. Some players have moved on, including me, but I think Leeds will have a good chance of going back up to the Premier League." It's interesting, isn't it? Because, you know, how much of an alliance do they have with the club? Is it, you know, you don't really know what basis that he's left on. Does he want to leave? You know, or is it just like one of them things where he's ready for a move? You know, he's at that age, isn't he, where he's just, I don't know. Was it just literally like a gap year for him to come see if he can get into Premier League, have a bit of Premier League football if we go up? Does he want to mess around for another year? I can't actually remember off the top of my head where he's ended up going, Kamara, but I'll just have a quick look where he ended up. No, he's in. Yeah. Oh, he's gone to Rennes, hasn't he? Stade Rennais. They're 13th, so you know they ain't French league. That's where we got. I need to check that because my French is CAC, but that's where we got Rafinha from, wasn't it? But yeah, it's interesting for them really, like how long that they're at the club for, like how much of an allegiance they actually have with the club, just in general, like, you know, and they're probably, you know, it's just a stopgap for a lot of them. We spoke a lot about in previous years as well, like players are going to use as stepping stones. It doesn't mean that they don't enjoy playing at the club or whatever. Like Phillips, for instance, he didn't use it as a stepping stone club, but once we became good, it was a stepping stone for him to like go on and push on in his career. Wasn't it? Went to Man City, obviously it hadn't worked for him. He's actually come out and made some comments the past couple of days as well, saying that he went to the playoff final and he was gutted that we didn't go up, because he's still, like, you know, holds Leeds pretty close to his heart and all that stuff. Also said that if we had gone up in Ipswich was still on the table, that would have been a difficult one to call. Which one had he gone for? Like, you know, I think he's saying that on the basis saying that it's a difficult one to call. And this isn't me being biased, which I am biased, but it's only a difficult one to call when you sat in the Ipswich dressing room, aren't you? I don't think that's actually a difficult one to call. We have much, even though we are in the Championship, and this sounds so wild to be fair, because we're in the Championship and Ipswich are in the Premier League, and people may very well disagree with this, and that is absolutely fine. We're in a better position in terms of to attract a player in that's going to come and stay and know where we can sort of get to, where we can be in however many, in say 3 or 4 years, is significantly, you know, the odds would be higher, I would imagine. You've got a better chance of being higher up in the league, or just at a better standard in general, being at Leeds United, than you have at Ipswich Town. Now, that didn't go on forever. Arguably, Rafinha used us as a stepping stone, but we got our money's worth. That's exactly what I'm saying, BMG. So, Rafinha did use us as a stepping stone, but ultimately we got a Barcelona footballer a couple of years before, because you have to bear in mind that he's not the Barcelona footballer, because Barcelona come in and buy him, don't they, if he's the Barcelona footballer at the time. But we get the Barcelona footballer 2 years before he's the Barcelona footballer. He's only, it took him a full year at Barca as well before he actually hit them. He's sort of like really starting to light it up a bit now. He's becoming the player that we all sort of saw that he was. He used us as a stepping stone, but we used him for, he kept us up. He was massive, instrumental in keeping us up. He was ace for us. I mean, that, a goal against Everton, there's some big moments stick out with Rafinha. He was excellent, and you always knew he had half a chance with him when he was in the team. What does Angry Mad Gav think of Rafinha? Nobody dislikes Rafinha. Yes, Tam, what's good? It likes people, yes. But yeah, so that's an example of being used as a club, but also getting use out of the player. So Kamara might have only been a one-stop gap. Lockie says as well, to be fair, Lockie knows what he's talking about, and he says that Farke was always after Tanaka, and then when Tanaka wasn't available, Kamara were his next choice. So if we're bringing Tanaka in, the club obviously were in a position where they don't want to end up with just loads of players on books. We do need to keep players moving. So Tanaka comes in, and then Kamara moves out. I know it didn't work out that way around. I think Kamara moved quite early on, but probably safe in the knowledge that we were bringing replacements in, hopefully, would have been Tanaka, and Tanaka's definitely an improvement on Kamara, both now and longevity. But yeah, like Calvin at Ipswich, I'm not 100% certain how he's getting on at Ipswich. I've not checked in on Calvin since he moved to West Ham, really. I actually watched them first few games at West Ham, and it were bad, wasn't it? It didn't look like, and then he had that, he stuck his finger up at that fan and everybody went bonkers about it. But Ming 59, unless you're a total mong, you have to have great memories of playing at Ellen Road. Yeah, agreed. But that's what I'm saying though. But they don't mean that they want to be there for the rest of their life, or people bang on about our atmosphere and stuff, and it is amazing. And our atmosphere is getting a bit of stick at the moment, purely on the basis that everybody's assuming that we're going to win every single game, and it's the nature of the beast. Man City gets stick. I know we're not at that level for sure, and it's not as boring as the Man City stadium atmosphere, but equally, they were noisy neighbours, weren't they? Loud and proud and knobby. But then when you start winning every single week, the expectations change. It just is what it is. So, but the players get a taste of it and think, it didn't keep Llorente here, did it? It didn't keep Cocky. It didn't make Wobber want to stay last year. It didn't make Christensen want to stay. It didn't make Aronson want to stay. It didn't make Harrison want to stay. I mean, Harrison stayed for longer than most. So again, Harrison gets a bit of a pass for me. All of them are decent atmosphere. Once you've had a taste of it, you've had a taste of it. How they're just doing whatever's best for them, aren't they? And so are the club. There's no agreements amongst there's no agreements amongst thieves or whatever. Everybody's just doing the best thing for themselves, doing the best thing for the club. Players have got to do the best thing for themselves. It's like I went to go see Don Matteo in a speak, like an afternoon thing. And Don Matteo was on about sort of like he was discussing a lot about Alan Smith and how Alan Smith should have said what actually happened with the club, and that he saved the club in order to go into Man U and stuff. And I don't buy that in the sense that I don't think he saved the club because he went to Man United. But it was sort of suggesting, but without saying it, he kept saying, "Do you think David Batty took a?" We were discussing Danny Mills as well. That's what it was. It was suggesting that, do you think David Batty took a pay cut? Because apparently, and Don Matteo kept saying in this interview that he did take a pay cut. Now, no honour amongst thieves. That's it. That's what I was trying to think of. Cheers, big lad. Yeah, he was suggesting, and he kept saying it about Batty, and he was going, "Do you think he did?" And he kept saying he's not saying he didn't. He was going "Do you think he did?" And we were like, "Well, we don't know, do we?" And then one of the lads just went, "I'm presuming he didn't take a thing." So I ended up, and I love Don Matteo. I've met him twice now, but I ended up having, and I think the club where I work is actually putting on an afternoon with Matteo and Martin, if anybody's up for it. I'll be doing sound for it and stuff, so if you do want tickets for that, do let me know and I can sort you out, but that's a side issue. I've now forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it was suggesting so much, but my argument was with people like Danny Mills is they go on podcasts and totally take the piss out of us. I don't really care that he went and made as much money as he could and took the club to, you know, whatever he said, I had the club by the balls and all this stuff. I don't even really care about any of that. I more care about after football. Like Batty, whether he took a pay cut or not, Batty always give 100% for the club. Nobody'd argue the fact that he didn't play for the club. I don't think he, particularly from what I know of him, my mum actually knows his mum. She knew her for years, and then David Batty were with her in Sainsbury's once, and my mum were like, "What's David Batty doing here?" And she was like, "Oh, it's my husband." But again, that's a side issue. But again, you know, you don't hear out of him, do you? He's took his money, done really well for himself, a total legend, Leeds legend, probably a Newcastle legend, done well everywhere he's been, played for England, everything, played at the highest level, was brilliant. You know, Roy Keane speaks really highly of him. There's nobody don't think Batty were good, made the most of himself. Sailed off into the sunset, you never hear of him. Batty's a legend, Tam, yeah. Now, that's my point. So Batty's still a legend for all of that, regardless of whether, you know, he's got to look after himself. It's a job at the end of the day. And, like, you know, as much as, like, a young man, you think, no, I want to play for the club and all this stuff. Like, all I wanted to do as a kid was play for Leeds, all this stuff. When it comes down to it, money's money. The club are plummeting. Batty's always done his job for the club. He don't want anything after him. He takes his money. He don't take a pay cut. They move him on or whatever. I don't know if he retired after that or whatever happened to Batty. I don't know, but you've never heard of him. Which is, it can. By the way, he can come on and talk on a show. I'm not saying I'd quite like to hear Batty's story in general. I think he'd be min afternoon talker. Like, I don't know how much he'd want to talk, but in terms of like actually seeing him, whereas Danny Mills is literally like the spokesperson. You know, Talk Sport will ring him, Sky Sports News will ring him and get his opinion on Leeds United. Like, he's still like clusterfucking us, still making money off of us, still leeching onto us. Constantly says in all his podcasts how mint at football he was. Don't forget, Danny, mate, your best years was at Ellen Road at Leeds United. You were shit before and shit after. Do you know what I mean? He never did anything. He's on about how he should have been in England squad over Neville and all this stuff. He was never at that level. He was never at Neville's level. He wasn't really, you know, I preferred Gary Kelly, to be fair, just as a Leeds legend, 100%. But in terms of just like playing ability in football, you know, Kelly were brilliant for a lot longer than Danny Mills were. You could probably argue, and I'd have to look back over it properly because I was only a youth, but you know, you could probably argue that there was an argument to have Danny Mills in the team over Kelly for quite a significant amount of time. In fairness, he was, you know, for a year he was very good, wasn't he, Danny Mills? And he was always charging forward, and we played that sort of football and stuff, and Kelly was maybe a little bit more limited in terms of, like, you know, pace and getting forward and what have you. But yeah, my point is, Batty took his money, did his job for us, Leeds legend, sails off into the sunset, never asked salt at club again. People like Mills, you know, played well for a year, ripped us off, went on a podcast, took piss out of us, and then ends up speaking on my behalf about the club, because that's what the people's there is a tongue twister, that, Ena, yeah. Never on Neville's level. Never on Neville's level. It's quite a good one. Peacock White says never really rated Mills. BMG says Mills was good for about 18 months. That's where I'm saying he had a decent year, and then for some reason he's taken that alt way to the bank, hasn't he? Tit. Neil Davison says no players are bigger than the club in today's game. Really, it's the agents that run the show. I would agree with that, yeah. Joe Depp says on the bright side we've got Green off. BMG, what does Angry Mad Gav think of Mills? He's not keen. He didn't like that interview, didn't Angry Mad Gav? Certainly not. I want to do a quick run through. I've been seeing on Twitter. Before we do that, actually, yeah, David Prutton, as you know, for who cares what David Prutton thinks and says or whatever, but Neville's levels, it rhymes. Have you thought of being a music writer? Never on Neville's level. We got Johnny Giles from Scum. Get up. I have to hit the like Ming. Yes, Bob Wendy. What's good? Get the likes in. What likes are we on here, guys? 25 likes. It's not too bad, to be fair. Thank you very much, boys and girls. David Prutton, for what it's worth, has done a Andrew Horner. Imagine Batty and Vinny having a podcast. They're on Overlap or whatever it's called, Stick to Football today, that they're going to try and get Vinnie Jones on. Be mint on a podcast, won't it? Vinnie Jones is the right character. Which strike are you taking in January? Bamford, mate. Keep Bamford up top all day, Tam. I don't know. I actually think we'll make a signing in January. I think we might. I just don't know if these strikers exist to come. I don't know really, but I think they'll invest on the basis that I don't think they're going to want to push it this year again. I don't think they're going to want to mess about for good reason as well. Because obviously we don't want to get to end of last year like we did and then start to tail off and be like, we just need that injection. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a player that, this sounds ludicrous, but that don't particularly feature. Yes, Jamie Tobin. Speedo. Billy Sharp on loan says leather sandals. That'd be tough sale, that, wouldn't it? What's this that Wrexham want? Bamford. To be fair, they were Southampton on about Bamford, so you never know, dear, with these things. Bob Oates playing Candy Crush while listening. I'll take it. Whatever keeps them numbers up. Yes, Danny Borden. Did you hear about that young Danish defender who said he's desperate to play for Leeds? You're not on about Christensen, are you? My guy. I think we sign a solid target man in January, says Neil. A soiled target man. It'd be good if we got a striker, wouldn't it? But as my man Joe Depp reiterates, and I stick by, if Peru gets 20 goals, we don't really need that. They don't need that centre forward if he gets 20 goals for us this season. Just stick the bastard up top and let him get some goals. I think we'll make a signing. As I say, they're not going to want to risk it. They'll put in 10, 15 million. I don't think they'll be ripped off by anybody, but what about the Mac kid from City? Mac kid, who's that? Mac kid. I can't remember. We get linked with that many players. It's like impossible to keep track of who's who and what's what. I'm off to London early hours, so I'm going to love and leave you lot. Take it easy, Tam. Cheers for tuning in, boy. We need a soiled number 10, says Peacock Whites. And what's up, love? What's up, love? Yeah. Take it easy, Tam. McAtee, I can't remember. Honestly, there's that many soiled footballers that we don't end up signing. It's like literally somebody brought a list out at the end of last year. It was pretty funny, and it was like 85 players that we'd been linked with, and I don't think we signed a single one of them. It was all like, totally players that nobody had even heard of. Well soiled. I need to drop kids off. Back in 5, Jack, mate. Keep with me. Quick shit vid, innit? Stick with it. Take me with you. Just don't give us any too much soiled information about it. Is there still any chance that Bamford could do a Phoenix from the Flames with Leeds? Bamford gets 10 goals this season, and when he does, it's the difference. It's the difference why we go up, boy. Ooh. Safe journey, Tam, says Bob Hope, who is also Wendy. I am with that. Danny Borden, I'm soiled, but I'm 42. Yeah, I've been soiled for a while now. Joe ran with that story about the Danish lad plays in Dutch league. Yeah, there's loads of stuff online. I've just not been. I've not been looking past week. I've stayed out of way with it really. I need to do this David Prutton story though, because I keep getting distracted. So apologies, boys. David Prutton, for what it's worth, has done a team of the year so far. Now I couldn't believe this, like how many Leeds players got into the side. Now, I can't be bothered waiting because when I ask, it takes too long for the comments to come through to actually find out when, like, what people will say. But if you would like to hazard a guess at how many players you think David Prutton put in his team of the year so far, bear in mind we're third. We've been soiled all year. Granted, we've not hit the heights of last year where we've gone on like any crazy run or anything, but we are third in the league. We've looked one at better teams. Yes, Jamie Tobin, cheers, dude, for the super chat. You absolute legend. If you'd have put a I can't, why does it not let me click on it? Appreciate you, brother, thank you. BMG says, imagine if Wobber scores the goal, it gets us promoted. I'm not ruling it out, mate. But yeah, there was Enar's got it straight in there, so 1. BMG says, I'm guessing none. You're not far off with none. 1. Would you like to hazard a guess who it was? Now, I suppose I need to give it some thought myself, but, you know, 1 doesn't seem to be enough out of, as I'm sure we're all aware, 11 players. Andrew Horner says, according to the BBC, there's 57 less goals in the Championship so far this season compared to last year. Yeah. Danny Bowden, Big Maxi Wobber, wibbling, webbly, wibbly, wobbly. With a thigh in the top corner from 3 yards. Love it. Liam's just been gifted a membership. Thank you very much, brother, from Ming59. Gifting out the membership. He's making it rain like Christmas Day. Santa Claus up in the building again. BMG said Bamford's made the Bamford's made Prutton's team at season so far. It's only, and I know everybody's going to love this because, you know, he does deserve to be in there, but I think, you know, we'll see that goes on to my next segment about who we can trust in the Prem. So BMG says, serious answer, Furpo. See, this is what I'm saying. So it's Struik, Struik, also known as Pascal, silent everything. Just Struik. 1 player, and it's just Struik. So if you go through team, Bogle had a bit of a shaky start. Maybe fair enough, he's not in it. Rodon. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not an encyclopedia enough to know about the other players, the other teams' players, and how well they're performing. But to only have 1 seems. I mean, you could also. I mean, Peru's obviously one of the top goal scorers. I don't know who Prutton put in top. Probably worth me looking, to be fair, if I'm going to actually discuss this, but. To not have Firpo in it, I literally think he's the best to have ever done it. He's the best left back in the league at the moment. But obviously Nonto, everybody's banging on about, but he's not necessarily been that. He's not lit it on fire. But again, all in comparison to each that. Hang on a minute, guys. Sorry. Oh, I can't be arsed with this. I can't be arsed doing it. But it's only Struik. I can't see because it's in where. He's picked Burrows over Firpo. So to not have Firpo in it's insane to me. Tanaka, obviously everybody's a bit frustrated that he's not been he's been snubbed. Joe Depp says up Mez was in the team. Mez has not made the team either. Fucking red hot in here again. She does my head in with this eating, boys. Andy Roy Keane was on point with the Jill Scott comment. Madness. It was well funny, that. Properly funny. Yeah, it freezes when I go on internet, I think, on my computer sometimes. I'm trying to sort it out with it's only, I'm hoping, because I watched it back last week, it's only the camera that freezes in it, it's not actually my voice. Tessie's Travels, Jack, how can I get 2 tickets for the 21st of December? We live abroad and it seems crazy money, if not in a supporters club or something. What do you mean crazy money? It's about 40 quid, innit? To be fair, you don't need to be man, I've got memberships and stuff. I can help you get tickets, but it's not it honestly ain't that hard. You can still get them on day most of the time. Obviously, if you're picking a big game on 21st, it's not a big game, is it? Who is it on 21st? I can't remember off the top of my memory. Shit, Oxford at home. So that's not going to be, going to be relatively faded affair. That, so you'll be all right on 21st. The only thing is, obviously, it's very close to Christmas, so people will be looking to get up and at it. It's 1:30 kick-off against Blackburn. I don't know if everybody saw that video. Does anybody know how many years ago that video was, when we were away at Blackburn around Christmas time and they were all in Wetherspoons and they were literally like pulling the chandeliers off at roof and stuff? It was mental. I've been trying to find video to like post it because, as much as I don't actually find that stuff funny, it's also very, very funny, isn't it? So BMG says Ramazani might have got in if not for the injury. To be fair, I think it's going forward. They've all got. We've not really had a run, have we? James got injured. Ramazani got injured. Obviously, Solomon started and then got pulled out. Nonto's not particularly at ground. I still think that's a bit harsh that he's not in there. Aronson's a proper solid player, but you won't put him necessarily in the Soil San Miguel. You won't necessarily put him in the team at season, would you? But then, you got Tanaka, Rothwell, Gruev, Ampadu. Again, obviously, they've only played half each of the season, roughly. Tanaka and Rothwell. I mean, Tanaka's... To be fair, the more I think about it, the more you can actually get towards it only being Struick. And yet again, that just proves we're third in league. There's only one player in his team of the season so far, and we're third in the league. We are going to go on a crazy run, and everybody is going to be thunderstruck. Like, totally forgot how mint that run was last year that we had when we were absolutely smashing it up, when we were absolute Dalmatian sensation. We're still Popper, are you with me? Soiled San Miguel, love it. Loving it. Decent argument for Rod being in team. Rodon, yeah. I mean, I've been slightly critical of Rodon. No, I haven't. I take that back. I haven't. But in terms of, again, he were a bit sloppy at start of the season. I just think it's the only way you can get that article to sort of make any hits is if you put the fact that there's only one Leeds player in it. It has to be slightly calculated, doesn't it, that? We've got a random question from Andy Rowe, but I'm all for the random questions. Do Leeds sell flat caps in Leeds colours in the merch shop? I've no idea. I've only ever been in merch shop about twice when I was a kid. My dad wouldn't let me go in it. We always sort of avoided that. He did, but it was very good to me. But he'd only buy me a programme. We won't go into merch shop. They're dragging me away from it. I'd got all my merch at Christmas and then made it last. What does Angry Mad Gav think of Fairpo not getting in Prutton's team? He doesn't like it. No, in fairness to Andy Mad Gav, he agrees with it wholeheartedly, doesn't he? He doesn't even think we should have one player in there. In terms of the tickets, dude, Tessie's Travels, I don't know where you're seeing it's £100 unless you're going like VIP lounge with it, which is, to be fair, worth the money if you're getting leathered, or and you want something to eat and that, and you want a decent seat. But you can get in cop for £40. You'll be buying them on secondary market. That's why you want to just stay on the actual website, and when they become available, just annihilate it. Are you after 2? And are you definitely there for the 21st? Because if it's only 2, I can probably help you get them. But for the £100, you'd be better off getting a membership, and then at least you come away with a bucket hat that nobody wants to wear. But I can probably borrow my mates' memberships and stuff here. As I say, it's just with it being close to Christmas, you probably... it might be quite busy, but as long as you're not bothered where you sit, obviously you want to be in Cop really, don't you, with boyos, but yeah, if you do get there, make sure you let me know and I'll meet you for a beer. Just stay at it, Tessies, honestly, but just comment if you follow me on Twitter or whatever, message me and I'll send you some links to, but don't get them off at secondary market. And also, if there's only two of you, if you're not bothered about sitting next to each other, you'll definitely get them, because my brother goes every week that he wants to, well, I think he's missed one game at home this year. And it's just because he's happy to sit on his own. He's not bothered if he's not next to me. St Helens LUFC says, for me, Rothwell over Ampadu, which is a take, isn't it? I personally think, I've said this before plenty of times, but I'll say it again plenty of times, it'll be Ampadu and Tanaka in middle. But, you know, only because Ampadu's the captain, I do think he'll come back into the team. As soon as he's available, as soon as he'll have a few off at bench or whatever, getting his fitness up, and then he'll be back. Over in UK for Crimbo, get up, lad. Whereabouts are you coming from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Tessie's travel. I'm going to a couple of games before I go on deployment. Peacock Whites. Which ones are you off to, dude? We'll have to meet for a Slurpee Joe. You're meant to be in Cemetery, Jack, on 21st. Yeah, I know, Wendy. But, which I appreciate you. But I meant, I'm on about somebody else, aren't I? Just if you're getting tickets into Cop, you can easily get them. To be fair, my ticket would go in, won't it? But my brother gets first dibs on that. Hungary, I were in Hungary. For my mate Stag do a few months ago in Budapest. A proper good do, to be fair. Alright, laugh. You'll have to let me know Peacock White, and I'll meet for a Slurpee Joe, Slurpee McGavin. Who can we trust in the Prem? This has gone round. Oh yes, lovely stuff, Tessies. I love it. Present for wife and me. Get up. Crimbo, 'tis the season to go watch Leeds United. Tra la 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 la. Who can we trust in the Prem? Meslier, Silent S. Angry Mad Gav loves San Miguel. It's his favourite. It's one of his favourites. It's his second favourite to Peroni, because he's quite educated with his tongue. In a recent live, a Leeds fan saw Amps in Valley Gardens, Harrogate. He said he's ready to rock and roll. I think he's some way off that anyway. I don't know if he's still in that leg brace or what, knee brace. I think it'll be a long way back for him and Gruev. Hopefully it doesn't end up being a frigging Struick scenario last year, and we're all sort of waiting for him to get back. Because that, although that was, we were solid at back with Ampadu and Rodon, I thought that was probably the best partnership we've had as two centre-backs for a long time at club, in fairness. I think he added a lot of stability for Rodon, I felt, Ampadu. I just think that Ampadu just gets his job done. Like, there's no messing about with him. He's still really mint on ball and stuff, but BMG says Struick, Ampadu, Tanaka, Ramazani, and maybe a couple of others. That's a decent start, though, because the step up's so enormous, isn't it? If you took up, how many have we got there? 4, and then you say maybe with a couple of others. Well, I think Nonto can do it at that level. I'll go Fruit Tea, Meslier, Silent S. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll quickly run through what I think who I think will be in the first game of the starting lineup next year, and then I'll say who I think deserves an effort in the Premier League, and then I'll say I think they all deserve a crack at Premier League, to be fair. And then I'll say, hang on, I need to remember which way I'm doing this way. I'm going to say the players that I initially now think will be in the starting lineup the first game of the Premier League next year. Then I'm going to say who I think deserves a shot that won't get a shot. Then I'm going to say... I don't know what I'm going to say after that. Let me do the first one. Then I'm going to say who I think is actually good enough for the Prem. Right? So, Meslier, silent S, will start in the Premier League for us next season. Bogle, right back, will start in the first game of the Premier League next season. Rodon will start in the first game of the Premier League next season. Struick will start in the first game of the Premier League season. Firpo will not start in the first game of the Premier League next season. Tanaka will start in the first game of the Premier League next season. Ampadu will start in the first game of the Premier League next season. Nonto will start in the first game of the Premier League next season. Ramazani will start at the first game of the Premier League season. So that is who I think. So the players missing from that is Firpo, Aronson, obviously Solomon and all them lot that just won't be in the side. James won't be in the side. Peru, Joseph, and Bamford. I don't think. Obviously, I think I don't even mention Bamford. So at the starting lineup, that's Meslier, Bogle, Rodon, Struick, Tanaka, Ampadu, Nonto, Ramazani. So that's 8 out of 11 players. I believe they will be. And then yeah, that's 8 out of 11 players I believe will be in the starting lineup at the beginning of next season. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying that they all should be. I just think they all will be. I can't help it, just on the form that Firpo is in, I can't help but he's one of my ones that I think deserves a shot in the Premier League next season. I think James deserves a shot at the Premier League next season. Joe Depp giving me the pelters for the lack of Peru on there. This wasn't my opinion though, Joe. That's what I'm saying. That's more me just saying. Andy, I'm saying that's who I believe will start the first game of the next season. Now, I actually don't mind any of them starting. In general, I think we should be like that. Tessie's, thanks for the info. Yeah, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'll get back to you after live stream with that. I'm not necessarily saying whether or not they should be starting the first game of next season. I'm saying that I think they will be. This idea that we're just going to go out and sign 8 players and then there's only going to be Struick and Nonto left and Tanaka, Ampadu. There's going to be a massive nucleus of the team. We're going to bring in a few players, maybe offload a few players. Like Firpo's going to leave. I think Peru will struggle to start the first game of next season. I think we'll be looking to move, it on. Joe Depp says Mez is a definite starter. Jamie Tobin said Dan James. I think Dan James should get an opportunity to play in Premier League next season. I think he's been a bit unlucky. The players that I think personally, the players that I think are good enough in the Premier League, and I don't care what anybody says in terms of where we're at, right? So going up, Meslier, silent S, I honestly think, and I know nobody can handle it, I think is good enough to be the number 1 for Leeds United for the next couple of years. I think we're where we're at. Hell Mary says we need 2 goalkeepers. I don't know why we need 2, but a top striker and a top central defender. Everybody needs a top striker. Everybody needs a top central defender. The other players that I think are good enough to build upon would be Struick, Rodon, Tanaka, I'm hoping, Ampadu. I would personally try and sign Rothwell because I think he'll do a job for us. Nonto, I still think James is good enough. I'm hoping Ramazan is good enough. So that, that does cut it down. They're the players that, and then you're looking in and around. So there's maybe four players that I've missed out there. Because ultimately I don't think Bogle is going to be the right back going forward. I think we do need to right back. Wing back's a pretty big issue for us, right and left back. Because as much as I would think like Firpo and think Firpo deserves an opportunity to play, I don't actually think he's probably good enough at defending at the level we are. Ironically, I think if he played for Man City, they'd probably be all over him like a rash, and I'm not even sure I'm joking with that either. There's an element of like jesting that, I'm being slightly jovial, but BMG saying Gulavoggy. Agree on Mez, Jack. Yes, BMG. Andy Rowe, KG and Con have already lined up a first choice keeper. Yeah, is it that Kelleher? Kelleher's the second coming in. He plays for Liverpool, guys. They love signing players that they know we're not going to sign. I've said before, but they all do this thing where they like say Andy, the diva and the depressant. They all say that the young lad, the 14-year-old kid, should absolutely, this is what Leeds United needs to change, and he should be playing centre midfield for us. The next week we need to do this. Lewis Bate needs to play, knowing that that'll never happen, so then he can't be wrong. It's the same thing, we need to go out and sign a goalkeeper. We need to get that Kelleher. They know Kelleher's not coming. Why would he come to a newly promoted side when he's currently, everybody's waxing lyrical about him? He's a big name in the sense that he plays for Liverpool, so everybody watches Liverpool to some extent. Everybody will know who Kelleher is, so it gets the hits. Everybody loves it. I'm going to bring out a video tomorrow saying we need Kelleher more than any footballer in the whole world. Hail Mary says Kelleher is dodgy. He was cacking internationals the other day. I saw a couple of big mistakes from him. Claire Oxenham, that's a good topic. Where do you think Schmidt fits in? Joe Depp says left back. Schmidt's an interesting one, isn't he? Lockie said that it normally takes Schmidt a year anyway, just in general, to get, rolling inside in any team that he's been at. I think it takes a lot of players a year anyway, just to sort of prove themselves in any way. Just to settle in. It's another country, it's a different club, it's different rules, different expectation, different atmosphere. No, you don't know anyone. It's, unless you're elite or very, very good, you do come like Tanaka's obviously very, very good at this level. I mean, whether or not he can make the step up to the Prem, and that's not a diss, we just don't know who can do that. I'm hoping he can, and he looks brilliant on ball and stuff. I think he's slightly immune from criticism. It seems to be a thing where when we get beat, everybody else gets stick, and people like Tanaka seem to get away with it, which I think is a bit whack. But it comes with territory. He's got a really good name, and so everybody loves it. BMG says buy back Leaf. Joe Depp says he'd prefer Firpo. I'm presuming that's to Schmidt. I think Schmidt probably... if he doesn't play left back, he doesn't get in the side, does he? I think it's Leif, but regardless, BMG, we're all on board with you, brother. Don't worry. We don't worry about spelling over here. That's one of the worst comebacks on the internet, innit, when like somebody spells something wrong, and they go, "Well, you can't even spell conversation, you dickhead, so you're wrong." Like. I was just typing, and then, do you know what I mean? I thought, he's not going to be bothered, we're just talking, and then, well, learn where to put your commas first, mate. You don't put a full stop there, mate. Like, yeah, you're still wrong, mate. It doesn't matter whether you spell it wrong or not. I've spelled it wrong. Get over it. You're wrong in general. Andy Rose says, Jack, what triggers Angry Mad Gav? Does Gav go home and away matches? Angry Mad Gav, what is so fascinating about him is he don't watch any games. BMG says, ask Angry Mad Gav why we bought Schmidt and aren't playing him. Well, Angry Mad Gav cannot get his head around that. That's one thing I will say. So he don't watch the games, doesn't Angry Mad Gav. He don't always even look for the scores on he waits for people to arrive into the pub. So like when I say don't watch the games, He's in the boozer. He's in the alehouse, and it's on the TV, but he's not paying any attention to that. So he's chatting away. He's getting beers in. He's getting everybody around. He's loving it. The game's on. The goal goes in, and he's not even necessarily looking at the replay. He's watching everybody's reactions. That's how he garners his information, you see. That's why he's a total crowd pleaser, people pleaser. Even though he's an absolute nightmare, nobody can actually dislike Angry Mad Gav, because everybody knows that he's about the pub game. That's all he's about. But yeah, he don't watch the games. He's no idea why we've bought Schmidt. Angry Mad Gav cannot understand why we buy any player and then he doesn't play 40 plus games, that's inclusive of cup games. So, you know, because he's aware that, you know, that's how you bleed him in it, through the cup. St. Helens LUFC, gonna call it, would you rescue Maguire for next season? You mean Harry Maguire? Harry Maguire! St. Helens, if you mean Harry Maguire there, quickly let me know before I make a twat of myself. I got, last year, loads of stick, and I still, to this day, don't know why. I got loads of stick because we were linked with Sean Longstaff, or Langstaff, however you say his name. We were linked with him, and I got so much stick for saying that would be a brilliant signing for a newly promoted side. But you have to spend a bit of money. He'd got Newcastle to the Champions League, not single-handedly, but I remember he got some big goals in some FA Cup games and stuff when they went on that run. Did they get to final, or did they lose it final, losing semis? I can't remember. I think they beat Scum. That would have been a brilliant signing. You cannot, and I think Harry Maguire is so pap, and I find it so funny watching him. It's to me, it would be wild to suggest that Harry Maguire, yes, slabhead, it is St. Helens, yeah, 100% that would be a brilliant signing. A newly promoted team, regardless of what stature you think the club at. He's currently at Scum. I think the bloke's a clown and he's capable of some horrendous errors, but he's at that level, isn't he? The only reason that he's dropping them clangers is because he's at that level. It's, you know, like Johnny Evans, for instance. He dropped down. He was making a few ball baggeries, wasn't he? He dropped down. He ended up being the man. Wes Morgan were decent. Robert Huth, when they won, Wes Morgan wasn't decent, by the way, but he ended up being decent. Phil Neville ended up having a brilliant career. I mean, Phil Neville were better than Slabhead, to be fair, but do you get my point? Try to think of players. I mean, Nicky Butler were a decent player. Just players that have played for, like, I hate saying, man, you're an elite club, but like a big elite club. They can reinvent themselves a little bit when they drop down. I think they were at Robert Huth. They won league, didn't they? He were at Chelsea, and he were a bit of a big Dumbo. Johnny Evans were a bit of a clown at Man U, and then, you know, he ended up having a really good career. I don't know if Johnny Evans won league with Leicester, or did he go a year after or something. But regardless, any player you can drag in like that. When people said that Calvin Phillips wouldn't have been a good signing to bring him back, it's a good signing. You know, I actually think, you know, Sean Longstaff's a better signing. He's a Champions League footballer that's going to get edged out at Newcastle eventually, because he's not at that level in terms of where they want to get to. But he's still over level. He's at an excellent level. It'd have been a brilliant signing, that, and I won't shut up about it, because everybody goes on all the time about these staple signings that we need to make. Like, we need to bring someone in. The likelihood of you getting Rafinha in every single year is low to none. I think we've dropped an absolute, you know, that's one thing that Orta gets no credit for. You know, that is a ridiculous signing. Rodrigo, we spent a fortune on. I know everybody ended up really liking Rodrigo, but, you know, it was only because he was Spanish. If he were at, you know, he didn't do all in Premier League last time he were here at Bolton or whatever. He came to, I was so buzzing when he arrived, by the way. He had a lot of injuries and stuff. I thought Rodrigo was decent. You know, I enjoyed having him at the club to some extent, but I don't know. Sean Longstaff would be mint. I'd bite your hand off for McTominay. Well, yet again, Angry Mad Gav is not incoming. He's not here. I can't do it. Get into character. I was just saying that it's just updated. I can't, big lad. I can't bring him out. McTominay, again, be a brilliant signing. He played, for a top 4 football club in the Premier League quite more often than he possibly should have done. So I don't think he's at the level to push him on to first, second in league. He's not going to win a league with them, is he? Neither is Sean Longstaff. They need to move him on. But he's definitely if he played for Brighton, everybody'd be waxing lyrical about him, or if he were at Villa, nobody'd shut up about him. Andy Rowe says, even Roy Keane's apologised to Harry Maguire. Show me the money. I do agree, to be fair. Angry Mad Gavy's not incoming. He does have to be spontaneous, man. I can't. If something comes up, it must come out. And to be honest, I can't stop burping from all fucking... I've only had 3 cans, but it's that Indian. It's blown my bazookas off. You can never have too much scum abuse, says Ming59. I couldn't agree more, mate. I could not agree more. What else we got? Who's next fixtures? I saw Joe on about whether we could end up top at league, top of the league before Christmas. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why that ain't happening. We're going to go on a run. I don't know when the run is. I think it'll hit us when we least expect it. But we've got before Christmas. We have got. Let me have a look here. Let's hope this puppy don't freeze. So we've got Swansea, Luton. Now there's no point me saying win, lose, win, draw on this because they all should be won, these games. This video is sponsored by San Miguel, by the way. San Miguel is a healthy option to the non-alcoholic version. There's only 0.4 gram protein in it. That's where I get the majority of my protein from. Pleased to say that it's got less than 0.1 gram of salt in it, which is something that I really pride myself on, not eating much salt. So it's great for that. 3.7 grams of carbohydrates. It's good to just keep the carbohydrates going. Carbohydrates get a bad rep, really, but they really do me a lot of good. And of which them are sugars, 0 grams, which is great. 0 grams fat. Fat's not necessarily bad for you, but 0 saturates. So it's thank you, San Miguel, for this video. It's much appreciated. So yeah, we're straight in because I forgot what I was doing. Swansea, as I say, I'll say win after them all, just for laugh. So Swansea win 1, Luton win 2, Blackburn win 3, Derby win 4, Middlesbrough win 5, Preston win 6, Oxford win 7. So we've got 7 games before Christmas, and then we Boxing Day, and then 29th Derby, then Blackburn again on first. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. We've got 10 games, so 30 points at stake. Or what's 7 times 3? 15, 18, 21. 21 is it? So we've got 21 points before Christmas at stake, and we are 2 points behind top. We are top before Christmas, boys. 30 points, certainly on New Year's Day. In 30 points' time, we could potentially be on 39, 49, 59 points. I mean, we're not going to be, because that would be getting 100% points from that. But realistically, if we stay on the run that we're at, I think Sunderland are going to drop off. Sunderland and Sheffield United are sharing the same amount of points now. Sheffield have been on a decent run. Sunderland have drawn a lot of games recently. Drawn 3 on bounce of Sunderland, which is, that's a rocky time. I've said before, it's no good drawing games. I know we've drawn 5, but we've lost 2. We've all lost 2. Burnley, fucking hell, we really have all lost 2. West Brom have lost 2. Burnley have lost 2. We've lost 2. Sheffield have lost 2. Sunderland have lost 2. We're top before Christmas. And we're top before Christmas by some way. And certainly by New Year's Day. 30 points at stake by New Year's Day. So this time in not even 2 months, 6 weeks, we're top at league. We've pulled away a little bit. 30 points. I reckon we could have a 5-point lead in 30 points time. I actually don't mind where we're at the moment. I quite like it in a sense that we're sort of still chasing the pack. We still sort of like know that we've got another gear to go through. I feel like Sunderland have been bang at it, and I'm aware that, you know, Ipswich maintained that, and that is absolutely fine. Well done to Ipswich, but, you know, it's rare that it happens, you know, consecutive seasons. And ultimately, you know, as much as I do think we will be top, we don't have to be top, do we? If we end up second, we go up second. I want to win Championship, though. It was spoke about on podcasts the other week that people were saying, oh, it's just about top 2. And it is just about top 2, but I don't know, you want to go up as champions, don't you? I think, you know, and then because I looked at Premier League and it is literally like Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton in that order in Premier League. So I do think it makes, well, reluctant to say the best team wins the league, because of course the best team win the league, but looking back over these 15 games as well, losing 2, drawing 5, there's been the draws have done made in more than the losses, just on the basis that you lose an odd game. Obviously lost to Millwall and we lost to Burnley. Burnley are a respectable team to lose to, but we didn't deserve to lose that game. It was just obviously the Solomon slip. I'm confident that we'll be top before Christmas. How's about that? Catch up on some comments here because I've gone off on a ramble there. Mad Gavin come in. Not yet. BMG. Oh, no, I've seen these. Sorry. No, I didn't see that video with the Man U fan, Andy. I didn't read that out just in case it's one of them things where you try to get me say something. Ming59 says, so easy to forget that run when you don't go up. Joe Depp says, run starts with Ampadu return. That's a nice shout. Both of them shouts. You do... I agree, you do forget how mint we was for them games where it was literally like, I don't want to be that guy, but people were saying how boring the games were in terms of like, we were just in total dominance, weren't we? Just murdering it. Jamie Tobin says, might have a 10 run winning league, probably shit odds. Yeah, it will be, won't it? That's a problem. You probably get better odds for, well, you know how the odds work, to be fair. To be fair, they are hard games, but our Achilles heel is not beating the crap teams. It's always like that, BMG. It's literally like, as you well know, this isn't me patronising you. It's like you get the win again, you get the big win, don't you? We battered Sheffield, and then we get beat to Millwall. It's just like, you know, you beat the teams, you know, and then Wilder come out and said like how mint we were, best team that they've played this year. You know, it's going to be whoever finishes above them and all this stuff that will win the league, which I still think is true, but it's the poor teams that you slip up against. You look through them fixtures and you just think, well, it's, you know, dominating time, because we've played a lot of decent teams in the league, haven't we? But it really is, you know, Portsmouth game, madness. West Brom, we didn't even try and win. That's the game that really, I'll never forget, really got to me, that one. Then we got beat to Burnley. Drew 1-1 with Norwich. Can't particularly remember that game away from home. I don't know if that was a stinker or not. Obviously, Sunderland were a big one because of Meslier Santos' mistake. Bristol, that one 0-0. That was horrendous. I didn't like that one. It's the draws that get me. Really get me. Different league this season. Nobody wants that top spot. Piss it at back end. Yeah, we were well off, weren't we, this time last season? 15 points off of something, and then we went on that crazy run, closed gap, ended up top. In all honesty, if we'd have gone up in that fashion last year, that would have been insane in the membrane, wouldn't it? In terms of like the run that we actually put on together. You know, to maintain that, it's going to be extremely difficult. So, you know, we if we hit that run, we'll pull away, and then we just need to get a grip towards end of the season. Andy Rowe, Sheffield Wilder will want to rip Leeds a new one. Don't forget they've had 2 points deducted. We had them. They didn't bring Holt to the table. Horrendous. BMG, often the teams with thinner squads fall away late in the season due to injuries and suspensions, and we have a strong squad. We certainly do. We also, everybody bangs on about the January window, which I know I've just banged on about. Now we're going to try and bring some players in, and I think we will to just bolster the fact that we're going up to the what. This is the year that we go up, or the 49ers are going to hit panic button a little bit, I think, with it all. But getting Ampadu back, getting Gruev back, getting Ramazani back, it's going to be like brand new signings, isn't it? I still don't think Solomon's fully fit. I still don't think James is fully fit. Who else have we got? Gruev to come back. I think Gruev will actually struggle to get in the starting lineup. But in terms of having him on bench and stuff, it's a mint option if somebody else is to get injured in it. Ming59 says better to stalk than be stalked. Our position is good. That's where I'm at. Once we put this run together, it's going to be like you're just letting the lead runner just keep that pace, and then we're just going to take over. We're going to do a scum back in 90s. Andy Ross says, Jack, I wasn't trying to trip you. I couldn't remember the spelling. Honest bro, good lad. I don't read it out. Do you think the international gremlin will get us again on Sunday? That's an interesting one, Peacocks. We've got to wait till Sunday. Wake up, Joe. I'm bailing, Jack. Give us a quick Angry Mad Gav. I can't. There's no topic for him. Unfortunately, I can't perform on demand. Just ask our lass. Gruev unlikely to feature much this season. Realistically, he's the fourth choice now. Ultimately, I think I can't actually believe what a transformation, because everybody were banging on about getting Gruev into the side like as immediately as possible, and then before you knew it, everybody wanted him out. Everybody were, it were Gruev's the saviour. Now Gruev's the shit one for some reason. We'll go on a 10-game winning streak this season. Joe Depp says I'm down the pub on Sunday with no telly. That is devastating. Can't you find a pub? Can't you find a boozer with telly? Yes, BMG. She will, unfortunately, knock me down a peg or two. Can anybody confirm the fact that we beat Swansea 4-0 last season away from home? I'm pretty sure we did. Right, guys, does anybody have any final topic? Any you want to get off your chest? I wanted to talk about Christmas jumpers, didn't I? Do you think before... I'm happy. I'll stay on for as long as you boys aren't bored. But I want to talk about Christmas jumpers. But if there's a topic or anything that you want to discuss amongst yourselves, and I will obviously chime in, you are more than welcome to hit me up with a question. Angry Mad Gav's view on Gruev being the saviour. Unfortunately, Angry Mad Gav has forgot who Gruev is, because that's what I'm saying. He's probably think he's moved on at this point. This is how bad I am at betting, Ming. I don't even really know what that means. Does that mean if you put 11 quid on you get 8 quid, or does it mean if you put 8 quid on you get 11 quid? I never really get it. BMG, I want the way Angry Mad Gav. Andy Rowe, I didn't read the full article, but this dude posted his theory to why there hasn't been a lot of goals scored in the Championship. I won't go, Ming. I'll stay as long as there's some, as long as I'm not boring anybody. I'll stay for as long as that wants. Being a glass stream as always, brother. Thanks for being a soiled bloke. I hope tomorrow goes well for you, dude. As well as it can do, truthfully, and you have my... I'm rubbish at finding the words with this stuff, but yeah, nobody do it how you does it, lad. So just be as strong as you can and be kind to yourself, which I say all the time to people, but I really do mean that, actually. I think that's important, to be kind to yourself just in general. Don't beat yourself up about, oh, if you feel whatever, just go, just ride it out, just roll with it. You gotta roll with it. I don't like Oasis, but if anybody does, you know, fair play. Joe Depp says, who's our manager for the first game? Farky. 11 to win 8. Yeah, so you put 11 quid on, you win 8 quid. Yeah, so it's quite all right, Peacock. I truly mean it, man. I know it's not an inspirational sentence or all, but it's, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Be kind to yourself, lad, and have as good a day as you possibly can. Christmas jumpers is not a topic of conversation, says Andy Rowe. Well, I really think it is, because I really want to get a consensus. Now, the reason why I'm keen to discuss this is on this basis, and I'm happy to show my hand here, as it were, because I'm well, I can't reveal my hand. Because it's not coming up. It's not coming up. But Jermaine Beckford had a Leeds United Christmas jumper on today on Instagram, I believe it was. And what is everybody saying on Christmas jumpers? Now, it was Leeds related. So in that sense, I'm not too mad about it, because it was I can't remember the you know, the whistle, whatever the what was the sponsor, whistle, I can't remember. It was just a few years before I was born, or maybe, oh, fucking hell, I can't remember. But anyway, instead of whistle, whatever, whistle top or something it says on it, it said mistletoe, which I must say, for the first time in all my time, that tickled me slightly. It did tickle me slightly. I mean, I'd take a Badger Xmas jumper, I must say. But Christmas jumpers, right, are a joke for people that don't have a sense of humour. Now, Angry Mad Gav he'd go to a Christmas jumper day out. He would be wearing a Christmas jumper on the day out, but, you know, he'd call it Christmas jumper day, wouldn't he, where we all have to go out and wear the Christmas jumper. Honestly, I don't play footy now on a Saturday, but it was obligatory to wear a Christmas jumper, and I'm not even being that guy. I'm not trying to be cool or all, but I was like, I'm not. No, it's a joke for people that don't have a sense of humour. I feel the same way about fancy dress, but just I'm not as passionate about that. But Christmas jumpers. Now, there's also a Christmas jumper that tickled me, and it's not even funny, but it's just the comedian that I like had it on, and it said, "Happy birthday to me," and it was just a picture of Jesus, and for some reason that one tickled me. But Thirst, that's it, Ena. Yes, my guy. I can't say, is that Thistle Hotels? Yeah, that was a mint kit, wasn't it? That it was ace, that kit. But yeah, instead of Thistle Hotels, it said mistletoe, but it was in the same thing, and it did tickle me. It picked me up. I simply must suggest that. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you boys you are partial to a Christmas jumper, and I do get it, but my mate goes on these Christmas jumper days and he's like, there's something going on. I'm like, oh, what are you doing on such and such Saturday? Like, can't, mate. It's Christmas jumper day. And I'm like, I can't imagine me ever saying that in a sentence and being like, it's Christmas jumper day. I'd have to make something else up. You know, like when somebody says, oh, my mate once, right, he got a bird and that he's married. He's a lovely lad. But his bird had like got into horse riding or something, and it's not actually my mate, it's my brother's mate, to be fair, but he's a lovely, lovely man. But it says always such and such, what's his name, this weekend or whatever, it's Sunday game it was, it's just shit Sunday level. And instead of just saying like what everybody else says on the Sunday, and again, I'm not trying to be a lad, but you know, be like, I think he's out doing just anything. He said he's out riding. And I was like, he's out riding? What do you mean he's out riding? We're like, well, his lass has got into horse riding, like he's on saddle. And I'm like, he's on the saddle. I was literally like, not that. Don't say it's Christmas jumper day. You can't do that to me. It's not right. Just say anything. Just go, oh no, I can't because I'm off. We're all off out. 40 of us are all off out into Wakefield. I think that's where they're off. Into Wakefield on Slosh, which is what they're doing. But he can't. The reason why he says he cannot miss it, because I know he'd rather come to the Leeds game than me, but he cannot miss it because it's Christmas jumper day. Honestly, man. Disgusting. It's the tossers saying, have you seen that tosser in an Xmas jumper? Yeah. They're all as bad as each other. And the ones that aren't really like full-blown ones are even worse. Like the ones that just sort of hint at it. No, it's like a grown man dressing up for Halloween or something. It's just something weird about it. It's like bucket hats. They keep giving out bucket hats, don't they, at Ellen Road? You know, for members and that. Apart from Wendy's, to be fair. I don't know if Bob's still here. But I do like this one. This is limited edition, guys. And she gave me this, which I thought was a very nice present. Now, the reason why she says that the limited edition these is because it says Dirty Leeds on it, which is rare because you can only get the ones with, you know, it just says Leeds United on it or whatever. But yeah, it's the Dirty Leeds one. And when I did my podcast, when she bought me it, well, no, she's not. Well, she had bought me it, to be fair, but it is a nice present. But there's just no way anybody can pull that off, is there? You know, it's fine at a football game. Yes, Bob, I'm showing off your bucket hat, and you know I'll wear it. But what I'm saying is, if I go to the shop, you can't wear a bucket hat to the shop, can you? It just can't be done. You'd look like a maniac. You know, it reeks of like ketamine and festivals, doesn't it, a bucket hat? But this is the best bucket hat I've ever owned or ever seen, so I'm happy with that. Oh, red hot in here. Yes, guys. Any last topics, any last requests other than setting Angry Mad Gav off? Don't wear your bucket hat in public. If you're going to wear a Christmas jumper, don't go on a Christmas jumper day. You can't go on a Christmas jumper day. That is, you know, I mean, I still believe in Santa Claus, and I think that's more acceptable than going on a Christmas jumper day. Village idiot springs to mind, says Andy Rowe. Well, from a small town, the small family, or whatever, however the phrase goes. I'll drop back in again on tomorrow, as Nobody Do It How He Does It. I'll do a bit more of a breakdown about Sunday. I will also, guys, be going live for the I Will Be Just Joe's competition. Yellow Snow's the tastiest version, though. Did the snow affect anybody the other day? Because everybody were banging on about how bad that were going to be, wasn't it? But it wasn't that bad. I love a bit of snow, me. Just been and bought Christmas tree for outdoors. I do like Christmas. I just don't like I can take a Christmas jumper, just not the Christmas jumper day. But I was saying something then. Yeah, I'll be going live on Sunday, guys, for the game. I want to go to Boozer, but I want to get stuck into as much content as I can. So if you do want to watch, I'll be online from about 2. Yes. Get yourself to the Christmas jumper festival. Hey, nah, I love it. Get that Thistle Hotel one on there. Or the It's My Birthday. Happy birthday to me with the Jesus Christ. I'll be going live from 2. I'll drop in tomorrow about 6:30. Thank you again to everybody for spending an hour and a half with me. It is beyond amazing to me that anybody watches these things. It's crazy. I hope it has some sort of a well, I hope it's even remotely enjoyable. The Underlap. Thought long and hard about that as well. Get some content done, Peacock. Just nobody do it how you does it, lad. Chat some shit. Quick shit vids, pub talk. We love it. Right, guys, I'm going to do one. I'll drop in tomorrow about 6:30 with a normal quick shit vid talking about Sunday. Probably do the same on Saturday. We'll up the content due to the I don't say that out loud, Ina. I've no idea what. Thank you very much, Ming. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Peacock White. Appreciate you. Truly, I do. It's stunning. Stunning stuff. Amazeballs. I might go live on my JackCity channel as well. I need to up that. Big star. I need to get, if I can get that up to 1,000 subscribers, then I can start thinking about what I'm doing with my life. That was a joke, but I can, if I could get that up to 1,000 subscribers, because I'm always in studio, I'm always in here making tracks and that, but I don't always want to go live. But I will be going live on there a lot more, so if you just want to jump on and chat some shit and that, it is worth signing up on my JackCity page. But yeah, Heathen. A person. Heathen is an old-fashioned term that can be used as a noun or as an adjective to describe someone who is not religious or who belongs to a religion other than Christianity, Judaism, or Islam. Nice to meet you. Well, not nice to meet you, Ina, but nice to meet my first ever Heathen. Do they still have a German Christmas market in Leeds? Well, last year, Andy, you said you didn't want to talk about Christmas. I want to talk about Christmas jumpers, and now you're asking me Christmas questions. Last year, they'd moved it from... they used to have it at Millennium Square, didn't they? And then they moved it to like where the train station was, and it was shit in comparison. They'd like shut all that road off, like where the Banyan is and that. They shut all that road off, not the adjacent one, the one that like goes like on an angle. And it were cack. It were rubbish. The one in Millennium Square's mint. It's got like a big area, like all undercover, like, you know, everybody's getting steins in and that. Whereas this one were more like just like I nearly said a market then. I know that's what they advertise it as, but it were more of like stalls. Do you know what I mean? Just like not just like a little market rather than like, you know. Andy Rose specified saying jumpers. I'm going to also have to look at what a Norse god is. The source text mentioned numerous gods such as the thunder god Thor, the raven flank god Odin, the goddess Freya. Is Freya fit? Are you allowed to say that? Oh, she's well fit. Hang on a minute. I'm getting... What did I say she was called? Let's get... Look at this fella's here. Fraser. Oh, fuck. I don't know about that. No, that's for another day. I've not set this up properly, so we're not going to mess about with that for now. But I'm hoping you got a bit of Freya then. But yeah, she is fit. It's lovely stuff. I'm into it. She'll get posted. She will be received well. Let's be fair. How much are for a German sausage? Well, they do some German sausages in outside Flannels, which is now moved, I think, but near John Lewis, and they are so nice, but they are so expensive. It is abhorrent. They're like 12 quid. I'm not even joking. They're like unbelievably expensive. And I did get one, and honestly, I resented it immediately. But I thought I want a German sausage for my Christmas time festivities, and it was tasty, but it wasn't 12 quid's worth. I don't think there's a sausage on the planet that's worth 12 quid. And I don't want any. You know. Just leave it. Like that show on Netflix. I've never watched Game of Thrones, you know. I've never watched it. Becoming a member for 3 quid is 10p a day. Come on, Ming59. Honestly, I need to get you on commission, mate. You're absolute ledge. You know, with the when you hand out the membership, you know, when you like offer them out. I don't really understand how that works, but like, do they pay, or I don't really get it. I literally don't understand how that works. Or do you offer out the membership and then you keep it, or what? Literally no idea. CB says Lidl do German sausages. They're really good. Now Lidl do, you can get some. I think Lidl or Aldi. I think it's Lidl. They do halloumi. I'm not a halloumi man. Well, I am a halloumi man, but I'm a meat man. First and prime priority is meat. But on barbecue, I'll put some halloumi on just for chicks, and it is the nicest. From, I think it's Lidl. It's the nicest halloumi I've ever had. To be fair, when I went to Berlin, they do all little stalls, don't they, with bratwursts or whatever they're called, with all German sauce on it, and they are delicious. The best tomato ketchup I've had as well is in Berlin. I tried to get some, I don't know what it's called or what it is, but it's so like solid. Only members received them, I believe. No, but like Ming gifted them, and then I think if you click on it, you can receive the membership. But then I don't know how that then works with the membership. I'm not bothered. I couldn't care. I'd rather, you know. Farley TV does a good German sausage. Yeah, he does. Farley's funny, isn't he? To be fair, I like the guy. What's the guy called that always does Sooners with? I hate Paul Pogba. I said the guy is a disgrace to football. He's mint. He's funny. I should know, really, Ming. It'd do me probably quite a lot of favours, wouldn't it, being actually knowing what we're doing. But I always put these things on lists like I'm going to do it, and then I never do it. But nobody do it how I does it, so fricadellen. Let's have a look at a fricadellen. I don't think I've ever heard of one. I'm hoping I'm not typing something disgraceful in here. More of it looks more like, is that more of a meatball then? Meaty hamburger recipe. Right, guys, on my fricadella. No, San Miguel, mate. Yeah, San Miguel. I'm a Peroni man. But at home, I like Heineken. I like San Miguel. I just like booze, to be fair. And past couple of weeks, I've been having Stella, because I've told everybody this story before, but it's my festival booze. I always get Stella, because Stella's the only one that's been in a tent for a couple of days. You have to think ahead with this stuff. when Stella's been in a temp for a couple of days, it still tastes like 40% like something that you'd want to drink. Now, when you've been at a festival for like 4 days, 40% of something that you'd want to eat or want to drink is worth its weight in absolute gold. If you can get 40% satisfaction out of it, you are well on your way to getting like, that is like 100% in real life. It's tremendous. But like Peroni, San Miguel, it's all the best lager, but it goes like, they become like milky. I remember once my mate gave me, he took taking Carling. I'm not dissing Carling, because it's, you know, Carling's just easy sort of wheat lager, isn't it? Not wheat, but like just soft drinking. Oh, it gave me, honestly, I nearly didn't have a drink for 2 weeks after that. It was like drinking like warm milk. It was so bad. And I like warm milk, ironically, but not when you're expecting, you know, not fizzy warm lager milk, not milk from the malt teat. You know, you want, I can't remember what's in it now, yeast, hops, barley, you know, malted barley teat. I felt like I was drinking from the human cow. It was awful. So yeah, you've got to be very careful. It's like pot noodles, elite. Super noodles, elite, but a lot more difficult to deal with. But you can get them in a pot now, so it's not too bad. You know, rest of it is burgers are obviously off the, well, you just eat whatever, to be fair. Although I got really ill the other year, it wasn't worth it. But I think out of more, so I got some dodgy water, contaminated dinner. But yeah, I'm talking absolute shit now. I'm going to finish my beer with you guys. Chin chin. Cheers for tuning in. I'll drop in tomorrow with a quick shit vid. I'm going live on Sunday. I'll drop in Saturday, or, well, I'll definitely drop in either tomorrow or Saturday. I might go live Saturday afternoon on my JackCity page if you want to subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. The link's below. All my music, all that stuff. I appreciate each and every which one of you. Take it easy, guys. Should I do that old school thing where you like stack them up? No, I'm only messing. I'm not really going to do that. So need to grow up. Right, guys, take it easy. Honestly, I know I've said it and I'll say it again and I'll say it a few more times. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate everybody that tunes in. It's crazy to me. You're all legends. I hope to see you all on Wednesday. If you're about, let me know. I bumped into a few of you on last Saturday. I can't remember what I'm talking about anymore, but I bumped into some people. It's meant to bump into people that watch channel and or just in general. So if you don't watch the channel, just shout me anyway, and then, you know, we'll still talk. Yes, Andy Rowe, I am doing a watch along. I'll be on from 2. So I don't want any excuses this time, Andy, because you like to tell me that if you'd have known I was on, you'd have been watching. But I've got you here. Take it easy, CB. Take it easy, Peacock Whites. Have the best day possible you can tomorrow, mate. Ming, you are honestly the absolute man, the West Coast warlord. Joe Depp, Tata, take it easy, dude. Yeah. Get some German schnauzers down here for Christmas. Sausage munching fest. Get it on, get your beers in. Crimbo time. We're going into December, boy. Nobody do it how he does it. Thank you, Ina. Also, thank you for the education on that chick. I'm going to... I'll be looking her up quite heavily, let me tell you. Right, I'm off on that note. Take it easy. Thank you, guys. In a bit. I'm going to say it. Yes, I'm going to say it, Andy. I don't know how to stop it. Take it easy, boys. Peace. Boys and Bob.